What's up everyone? Something a little different today. We're going to be going for a bounty actually. Grounded updated his website since the release of Puppy Pack and added a lot of new stuff. Today we're going to be focusing on his bounty board. Link to his website in the description by the way. But the specific bounty we're going to be going for is called the Old Timers, which I should have on the screen right now. It's basically all the tier 5 and 6 units that were exclusive to the old Puppy Pack. So you have chicken, you have goat, you have sauropod, octopus and T-Rex. I don't think it's going to be a very difficult bounty just because you have access to T-Rex and that's insane scaling if you can utilize it, and with a full team of tier 5 and 6 units it's going to be relatively easy to get the full potential of the T-Rex going. So yeah, a bit of a freebie bounty, but I think that's what he was going for, even though he made it a little bit more difficult just with the positioning. You have the T-Rex up at the front, so the only unit that isn't getting scaling is going up first, which means that I'm going to want to have steak on it. And then you have the chicken at the back, so that means you're not going to be shop scaling a whole lot. Although you can reposition only in the last round and use the chicken all the other rounds in the first position and shop scale that way, but that's not what I was going for in this run. So yeah, anyway, we're trying to get to the late game first, and I think one of the bigger challenges is going to be to level into one of the units that we're going to have on the final team on turn 7, just so we can get it started up quite properly. Like a challenge with the T-Rex scaling runs in general is that the units that T-Rex gets to scale up usually come very late, so you either need to have a lot of hearts in reserve so you can spend them with while scaling up your team and losing in the meantime, or the alternative is to have some of the units already on the team and quite scaled up, so that when the T-Rex comes in along with the other units it's not going to be that difficult for you to win. And that's what I was going for right here. A very lucky roll with the tropical fish. So I have 2 level ups prepared for next turn, and I'm hoping that I get at least a goat or a chicken so that I can start scaling up. Thankfully the tropical fish is going to be very useful for that purpose. I'm going to have some HP scaling online. Hatching chick would have probably been better for the +2/+2, but I didn't find any, I don't believe. First level up of the turn is a stingray, which I of course take for the flashlight, especially since I have a pill frozen. And second level up, when I level the beluga sturgeon, I have both the goat and the chicken, which is very nice. I get to pick which one I want. I go for the goat just because it has a little bit better stats, and as well as that when I transition to the other units it's going to be very easy because it's going to be giving me some gold. You can argue the same for the chicken actually, because when you transition to the other units with chicken on the team they're probably going to be scaled up, so it's not going to be as difficult to do. But I choose to go with goat. And thankfully I even roll into a chameleon, so now I can start scaling up the goat very strongly. +6/+6 on this turn. Because of the goat's ability I even get to spend only 3 gold to pull this ability off and not the full 4 gold, just because I get 1 gold refund on the purchase of the chameleon. So yeah, 12-19 before I should even be finding any goats, which I think is very good, and after this battle it should get another +6/+6. Thankfully I end up winning. The gecko that I've built up as well is very strong. And yeah, 18-25 and a level coming up. Sadly no T-Rex, that was what I was hoping for. The anglerfish isn't going to be useful as well, just because my opponent wasn't running anything that I wanted. Not that they could, I think, like it was impossible for them to have tier 6 units on turn 8, so I don't really blame them. But thankfully on the second level up of the turn we find the sauropod, which is going to be a very nice inclusion. Now when I include the stingray on the team for another flashlight, I'm going to be getting even a bigger refund with the Chameleon Pill, the Chameleon Pill Play, excuse me. Like the purchase of the Chameleon is going to cost only 1 gold thanks to the gold being level 2, and the pill is going to be free because of the sauropods ability. So yeah, I have a chocolate and the pill frozen. Thankfully I do find the Chameleon so that the pill freeze wasn't in vain. Putting the buff on the sauropod just because I think it would utilize it a lot better. Like a 1021 is way better than a 415 in my opinion. So yeah, I even take the lasagna just because it costs only 2 gold. And I find another gold in the shop, which I don't think it was really necessary for me to include, but I did it anyway. And yeah, I think the team is going to be pretty strong even though I have only 2 hearts. But the next challenge of the run is going to be finding the T-Rex as soon as possible and leveling it up. With the extra gold from the sauropod and the gold, I think it's going to be kind of easy to do that. I even have double gold, so unit purchases are basically free. So yeah, I'll start rolling now, finding a second chocolate, which is very nice. I'm going to be getting the T-Rex up to level 2 immediately when I get it. I don't need another sauropod, so I didn't buy it. I found an octopus though, which I think is going to be very nice to have. It's one of the units that I need to complete the bounty after all, so it's very important for me to have it. And now I find the T-Rex, and with the gold's ability I even have the exact amount of gold to level it to 2. And the sauropod even helps me somewhat with the gold generation. After that I have 2 gold left over. Now I can buy another sauropod, which isn't really necessary, but it has a little bit better stats than the gold, so I thought why not. So yeah, this is going to be basically the final team. All we need now is the chicken, and we have like 3 turns left to find it, and we find it almost immediately. I almost drove past it, which was going to be kind of sad if I did end up doing that. But yeah, I think I should be including the chicken now. Maybe rolling for some good foods in order to utilize the double sauropod ability, but I didn't find anything useful. So yeah, this is basically it. I'm trying to position in a way that I think is going to make me win, because I think the final round is going to be a little more difficult. Kind of funny that the chicken got sniped there and gave me some shop scaling for free, even though I didn't really position for that to happen, but whatever the case, it's not going to be useful. Getting the T-Rex up to level 3, which is very lucky, and an octopus from the level up, so hopefully with some luck I can level the octopus to level 2 next turn. I'm finding a lot of equipment as well, so that's going to make my team very strong. But as we discussed earlier, I don't really want to have melon on the T-Rex, I'd rather have a steak, because that's going to end up being on the first position. Easy win right here, as you can see. I didn't even have to resort to the octopus. And yeah, this is going to be the final round. Thankfully I roll into a steak immediately, so I can give it to the T-Rex. Melon goes to the chicken. Some gold refund from the gold, and thankfully I roll into even more octopi, so I can level to level 2, not that it's going to be necessary, but yeah, this is the final team. I hope you enjoyed the run, kind of a freebie, but what can you do? If you did enjoy the run, please like, sub, do all the generic stuff, leave a nice comment, and I'll talk to you next time. Take care.